hey, millions of people are going to lose food and healthcare, but at least these guys are going to get paid, and they're even going to get overtime, and they're going to keep us safe. I would be posting that. And if you aren't on Facebook and you're not on Instagram, I suggest getting back on, even if it's briefly, because we really need to get the message out about why the shutdown is happening, because Trump and his minions are good at their propaganda, and so is Fox News. But the bottom line is they need to understand is that the Republicans did not want to pay for subsidies so that insurance could be affordable on the Affordable Care Act. That is why they're going to see bills that are going to at least double. And if the shutdown doesn't stop in the next 2 weeks, those higher premiums are going to stay for the next year. And so when people are taken off of those because they can't afford it, the other premiums are going to go up even more for other people because they have to have someone to subsidize it, right? So all these people are going to end up off of insurance, and SNAP is being withheld to try and pressure them into signing that CR so that they don't have to give those subsidies. So the bottom line is they don't want people having affordable health care, and they're trying to manipulate them by withholding SNAP. Now, USDA has a fund, has several $billions in it set up to use in shutdown situations where people should be able to still get food. But they have withheld that, saying it's illegal, you can't do that, because they're trying to basically blackmail the Republicans into voting for that CR, and so that they don't have to help anyone with the health insurance. They thought they were going to get away with this, because remember back in July when the big beautiful bill got passed, how demoralizing it was. Like, that was one of the harder things of this year, because it was like they get away with everything, right? We didn't think people were going to know about stuff till like 26, 28, but they're finding out now. It's waking people up now to the reality of what's going on. But this is a really important time to just kind of explain the economics of how things work, because a lot of people on the right do not know. And one thing I'd really emphasize is we have 25 states suing to get that money from USDA, but they're also suing Russel, Vought, the head of OMB, the guy that wrote Project 2025. That I would also highlight, because still a lot of people on the right don't believe Project 2025 is real. Some have not heard of it. And I know people, a lot of people on the left want to say they know, but you don't understand how thick that insulation is. When they strictly get news and propaganda from Fox, they really think, even now if I say, about Project 2025, they're like, oh yeah, I never read that, or that's because that was a hoax. That was left-wing fear-mongering. They still think that, because a lot of them vote and then they just go live their life, and then they just hear stuff from Fox News. They don't hear because people don't talk to them, so they don't learn new things. So that's why I keep going in and saying, hey, what about this? What about that? And I just drop little things here and there, and they're listening. So I would emphasize that it's Russel Vought that doesn't want SNAP going out, because he doesn't want people to be able to afford their health insurance. And if they want to know why, go read Project 2025. Okay? Then I would add, look, SNAP pays 25%. That's how much money comes into Walmart. Is 25% is from SNAP for food, groceries, things like that. And they use that so that they can pay their employees lower paychecks, right? Again, this is something that they don't realize or know, but Walmart is able to pay people low wages because so many of them use SNAP, but also it is, this lower priced grocery store where people have to go to use SNAP. So when they lose that 25% income, they're going to want to replenish that somehow. So either they'll raise prices, or they're going to take jobs away, or they're going to lower hours, but someone has to pay for that. And so that's just Walmart. But when you go into independent stores, or you go into like little marketplaces and stuff in underserved communities, that's 80% of their income. So those places will end up having to close, especially if this goes on very long, which it could. So not only are we going to have more expensive health care because people are going to get off, they got to find a way to replenish that, so premiums are going to go up even more. But then everybody's grocery prices are going to go up, because that money has to come from somewhere. And I think it should be gifted to Russel Vought as the author of Why People Don't Have Food or Health Insurance. That wonderful Christian man. And that ICE still gets that. Make it make sense. But I think this is such an important time for them to understand how SNAP works, how each dollar from SNAP that goes into the community ends up yielding like $1.50's worth of production, because it helps manufacturers, it helps farms, it helps all these different industries that grow stuff and are able to employ people. All of that is being ripped away by Trump and Russel Vought.